Hello, you're watching Up New X, and today let's talk about a recently started airing Chinese web period drama, 永夜星河, love game in Eastern fantasy. Really badly translated English title. This is a 32 episodes period fantasy idol drama that's being aired on the platform Tencent. It is produced by Hengxin Inli. The best success they've ever achieved so far was the 苍兰诀 couple of years ago, led by also Yu Shuxing. Ever since that success of that period drama, the company kind of went into a downward spiral and kept putting on dramas that couldn't perform well. Had a couple of really dramatic episodes on China's internet when drama flops and the producer and owner of the company go berserk on the internet. Finally, we come across this one almost as a savior of the reputation and future of this production company. Among the idol and period drama category, and also among younger audiences and audiences who mainly watch stuff from mobile devices and on internet, this definitely is the highest performing drama right now. The drama is based on an IP from the web novel site Jinjiang, and this drama is based on a novel published on that website back in 2019, 黑莲花攻略手册, the guidebook to capture a black lotus. Imagine lotus being sacred, symbol of Buddhism and growing out of mud but being pure. Yet if you're a black lotus, it means you're actually a bad person, but then you pretend to be a very innocent and good person. And as the title suggests, it's a leading character who lives in our 3D, three-dimensional real world, who gets into a fantasy land. She has to survive by basically winning the heart of this bad character in the book. So the drama is based on that novel. It changed its title to 永夜星河, which in Chinese would literally mean permanent night, starry river, like literal translation by every character. And the drama is led by Yu Shuxing and Ding Yuxi. Both are very familiar faces in Chinese idol drama land these days. They've already worked together previously in the contemporary drama produced by iQIYI, 月光变奏曲 Moonlight. So far, I'd say, by episode 13, very odd number because it's being aired on a weird schedule, it has worked out pretty well. Then the drama has a second lead couple, that would be Zhu Xudan and Yang Shize. Zhu Xudan has been around since my channel started. She was already in idol drama land. And then Yang Shize was also the male second of the Moonlight drama that Yu Shuxing and Ding Yuxi worked together. So basically, for the leading cast of this drama, 75% comes from that drama they've worked together previously. The drama is written by a group of scriptwriters. They work together to adapt the original novel. The leading adaptation writer of this drama is also the writer of 苍兰诀, also 长风渡, 白敬亭 and Song Yi drama, plus 风起洛阳. The other thing that is really interesting about this drama is the director. If I tell you his name, you will not remember, but if I tell you about where he comes from, you'll definitely know. Zhao Yilong. He comes from the drama Nirvana in Fire. And guess who he is? He is one of those supporting roles. A general under Mei Changsu. It's that guy. He was a supporting role, and I think he's one of those assistant directors on that project. And if you research about where he comes from, well, he's a local Shandonger, and that means he probably worked with Shandong Yingshi, which was the really well-known company that produced later 正午阳光 Daylight Entertainment. And back then he was probably younger, so he was doing assistant director job. Now 7, 8, 10 years later, he's doing his own stuff. That training and that background really counts. And this drama, when you start watching it, you immediately get the idea of whoever is in the control of the narrative, they really know how to tell a good story. At this point of the 32 episodes drama, I have watched 13. I would give it a 2 gold mine. I feel probably it's just gonna stay there. And in terms of how popular eventually or successful eventually this drama is gonna get, I doubt it's gonna be as high as 苍兰诀 and Fairy and Devil, but comparing to everything else we've had this year, it probably will be the most successful idol period drama. And I really don't have much to complain about this drama. I overall enjoyed it quite a lot. So I'm gonna talk about it in order of things it's not perfect, or I think I wish it could be improving, then the sort of neutral thing, then the really positive things that made me enjoy the drama. So things I don't like about this drama. I wish its design could be a little bit more inventive and different. In terms of being strongly memorable or give you this clear sort of designed outline, I say it's less than 苍兰诀 Fairy and Devil. That drama has very clear design theme for different realms of people, their different style, color palette, texture, whereas this drama is very generic. Now given the world building is not as complicated of this drama compared to Fairy and Devil. Personally, I am okay with its style of everything. Everybody looks pretty good if you compare to everything they've done previously in other period dramas, either as good as they ever have been or slightly better than a lot of other things they've done. So I have nothing to complain, but I wish it could just be a little bit more personality heavy and different, particularly for female lead character. Yu Shuxing is again playing her comfort zone, cute, bubbly, lovely, adorable little girl when she's actually close to 170 centimeters in height. Overall, everybody's styling is slightly too busy with a lot of design details, beads and these things, right? Like times 10, and it's everywhere. And even their clothing have a lot of those threads and beady things like dangling everywhere. Occasionally it gets too busy. It's not ugly looking and it's not super cheap looking, so in that sense it doesn't bother me, but it's still too busy, particularly for female lead. She has so much going on with her hair, but that's a tiny point. You know, I'm just like trying to pick at everything I noticed that I don't like about the drama, okay? So that's one of the most obvious thing that has sort of made me, I wish it could be different. And then, for this drama specific case, the neutral part, dubbing. You have 4 leading characters, and it's the classic lead couple and second lead couple situation. They use dubbing for 3 of them. One is their own voice, which is Yu Shuxing. She maintained her voice, dubbing herself basically. The voices picked for those actors and actresses worked really well. It fits their face and mouth movement. Yu Shuxing, because her voice is highly identifiable, is one of those voices you hear it once you will remember, and nobody can really fake her voice. It's just gonna be her. So it makes total sense. If she gets dubbed, the drama will look weird. For the second lead couple, I think it just works okay, so I don't really have a huge problem. For male lead, now this is the debatable part that I find I can't quite decide whether it's for better or for worse, or it's actually okay, just like neutral. Because I think Ding Yuxi as an actor himself, he could do lines well enough to the point that it wouldn't distract audiences from watching the drama and getting the characters. If he did it himself, it wouldn't really be much worse than what we have now, which is a dubber and who did it really well and fits his mouth. On the other hand, I actually feel it was creatively, from the whole storytelling perspective, the right decision to dub him. Not because the actor himself cannot do it properly, but because his voice quality is not as fitting as the dubber they picked for this role, because this role is the Black Lotus. Essentially not a very good guy. And for this kind of undertone, cold, slightly tragic, overall not a very sunshine, warm person, Ding Yuxi's natural voice is slightly too warm, too gentle, too soft, too much like a contemporary nice guy and gentleman. First is his tonality tends to be very contemporary. Even when he tries to tune it to the period drama vibe, often it's not fully stepping there. So when he is doing it himself in period dramas, I often get a little bit like taken out. He doesn't fit the imagined story space of a period drama. The way he speaks it is with a lot of gentle concern of the other party. And that may not fit the role, because this role needs to be actually not a nice guy. This is the point where I'm neutral, which is I think if he did it himself, it wouldn't be too bad. Not the Canglanjue situation, which is if you actually let Wang Hedi, the drama would be destroyed. He had to get dubbed. But in this case of Ding Yuxi, if he didn't get dubbed, wouldn't be too much of a problem. Now that's just my opinion, so I put it in neutral. Then let's talk about what I enjoy about this drama and why I think if no super surprising candidates show up at the end of the year, this probably is the most enjoyable period idol drama. Point number 1. The most important thing, if you think about the last video I made about another period drama, this is the opposite. That drama, Kill Me, Love Me, the biggest problem I said is it's boring. This one is not boring. And it's not boring from moment 1. It just cuts right into the middle of a big action of the story world where our female lead has hardly any time to prepare and she needs to first deal with a big challenge. It feels like first it's respecting your time as an audience. The type of action is not like Kill Me, Love Me, which is it's setting up the character background and not giving you time to actually grow with their emotion. It is not setting up her background story. You don't know anything about her. She's just a contemporary girl who got sucked into a story. And then you immediately get into major action in the story where she needs to survive the first challenge. Then as the story progresses, you start to find out her background story. And when it actually comes out quite late, after quite a few episodes, when you already got used to what type of person she is, then you get a peek of as a real human in contemporary world, what kind of background she had and why she is the way she is. And it makes every moment fun, engaging. And then when it needs to get to the point where it's making you tearing up, it's perfect because you've already been built up to the point. You're not just thrown into the middle of now cry because scriptwriter wants you to cry about literally female lead losing her father, which is the same thing Kill Me, Love Me had at the first 5 minutes. Yet this drama did it a lot later. So what I mean is they actually have very similar elements, but then they do it in the right way of telling the story to the audience is in the most effective way so that you enjoy watching it, and then their intended effect of this plot at this point of the story is gonna make you do the reaction they want you to do. It works out. Tells you that it's being done by a group of people who actually know the basics of how to structure narratives and build up characters and play with the emotion of the audiences. You actually want them to very well design it to play it effectively on you. That will make you feel your time invested in watching the drama is not wasted. So it's not boring, it's well paced, it's been designed in a way that really is here to provide audiences entertainment. Second point, Yu Shuxing and Ding Yuxi really work a very good chemistry. Back in the days of Moonlight, you can already see that they really do come off each other really well. And now their sort of second collaboration, they already know each other, so they know how they work individually and getting better as they get older and getting more experience. Also, if you've noticed how these two people work off each other, whether it's like in those special feature videos or previous videos when they were in the contemporary drama, both the lead actor and actresses are the type of actresses who really think through the character they're playing. They build up the picture in their head about this person's life, their previous history, or their personality, their profession, with their goal of that particular scene, whatever they're doing. How this specific person would be talking, speaking, acting, expressions, manners, and how they would try to get at each other to create that tension of a scene. Is it making sense for me to speak this line in that tone and then you react in that way, or you react in a different way? Like they talk through everything they do and they add a lot of details that do not exist on the script level on paper. And it all comes from their discussion of roles and working with directors and each other. The type of interaction performances between two actors where it makes perfect sense in the story and then it pushes the characters forward at the same time, then it's enjoyable to watch because it's filled with little tiny details. And then it almost gets to the point where after you've seen a particularly funny or romantic or interesting scene that's been played out between these two actors, you actually are interested in going back and watch it again. And that whole sequence of performance in itself is enjoyable. It's like a perfect workout recipe. Just the right amount of salt, just the right amount of sugar, just the right amount of whatever taste and temperature, texture, and you had a bite of it, and it's like, oh, that's good. And let me take a second bite. So you like literally drag your playhead back and just to see that 30 seconds. I'd say like that's successful, very successful for period idol drama. Because there's so many period idol dramas. Not only I watch it 2 times speed, 3 times speed. There's no way I'm going back. Like once I run through it, I'm like, thank heavens I got through one episode. Now I have one episode left and then my work is done, and don't ever hope that I would ever click back. For this drama, it's actually the opposite. It's like, oh, that's adorable. Let me see it again. Third thing. I wouldn't say supporting roles so far in this drama are outstandingly well written, like Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty, but they really don't create problems. And occasionally they surprise you with, oh, I didn't expect that this drama would want to spend that much effort on a supporting role. For example, the dad character, probably the most tear-jerking moments of the whole drama so far. And everybody who's watched it probably will agree with me. You kind of see it's coming, but when it actually got played out, you're like, oh my god. Like if you want to set up a female lead who lost her parent in a really tragic way, this is how you set it up. Not Kill Me, Love Me way, right? That's the wrong way. This is the right way. It's like stark contrast of how you do it. But also like, you don't expect they're gonna put too much effort, for example, into those unit characters who show up in one section of the drama and disappears. For example, so far the water demon or the water yao, the couple, the guy and the girl, they actually spend time to tell you the background story of them. It's in itself a complete romantic couple that's like really tragic. And obviously the guy is played by the actor who played Jian Buzhi. I'm still waiting for Ancient Detective Season 2. So that's like a unit pair of Yao Guai that you really didn't need to put much effort into writing them, and it probably wouldn't affect the narrative that much, but then you can feel that the scriptwriter really also want to do justice to every character who show up. Like the old guy who runs the hotel. Hotel got destroyed and eventually got rebuilt by the magic, and how he views it makes it a new one, and then the wife character shows up in that illusion. It's like those little details when you see it, you're like, I just so appreciate the characters are being treated as much as possible by the scriptwriters as real people. Also, for example, the female second and male second, so far they really don't have that much going on for them, yet when there is an opportunity, they would want to give them the justice to basically show you why in the original novel setting, before the female lead got in, turned into the lead character of our story. In the book, they are the leading characters, the sister. Just little details, very effectively showing you why she is the female lead of the original novel, because she is actually the strongest person psychologically among the whole group. Same goes to the male second character. The drama doesn't forget that even though they are not our narrative focus, they have to basically make sense to be the people the other people in the story would think they are. A lot of bad storytelling don't bother doing that at all. So for this drama, at least I'm seeing the normal way of writing a story that makes sense, and a lot of other dramas have forgotten. That's why I'm saying this is so far the best idol period drama I've seen this year. The last thing, I want to just pick out Ding Yuxi to give him a specific point, which is I'm really happy to see this role being played by him. Tiger and Rose came out and that made him famous, and ever since then he's been in many other dramas, mostly period dramas, and somehow just nothing really worked out. He always actually does a good job as an actor on his part, but somehow either it doesn't work with the female lead or the story overall is poorly written, so like there's only that much he can do. It tends to be the type of characters that just don't fit him. I find maybe he's the type of actor who needs a particular type of role that vibes with a certain energy to match him so that it suddenly just like let you see he's a good actor. Otherwise he becomes hidden, or the potentials he has doesn't get stimulated and exploded out of him. With Han Shuo and now the character Mu Sheng, I think we can tell that for Ding Yuxi, this actor in period drama, the perfect kind of role for him to play would be the Black Lotus type of guy. Not the typical, like the male second role, for example, of this drama. The Wei Guangzheng, the great, completely fully standing in light, morally impeccable person. If you make Ding Yuxi play that kind of shining like a sun, morally and behavioral and everything like perfect, good guy, all the attractive little quirks of this person just disappears. It gets erased. It's not like he can't play it, but it so does not suit his vibe. He is perfect for those type of not always do it right, having a lot of cunning ideas to get what he wants, but ultimately if you still want to question it at the core, a good person, but then who is not burdened by being perfect in everything. And when he plays this type of character, the spark just starts to come out. It immediately makes you feel he's 10 times better looking, 10 times more interesting, and 10 times more engaging than all those perfect good guy he tried to play in a couple of period dramas I've seen in the last couple of years that just do not work. Some people are like that you can apply them to everything and kind of always work out. And some people are very specific. It's like they can only do this particular spectrum of things, but when they do it, it's just like, oh my god, they're born for it. Like I can't imagine other people doing this, doing better than them. I think he's more like the second type of actor. And it's unfortunate that in the last couple of years, ever since Tiger and Rose, he hasn't gotten a role that really fits him, that can make this effect happening, which is him matching the character perfectly and suddenly everything works out. Also, like, he probably has to thank Yu Shuxing as well, because Yu Shuxing is very good at doing dynamics between the opposite party. If you've watched all her dramas previously, I think you can tell that pretty easily. She's very good at doing that. Not all the actors out there can do it. A lot of people are very absorbed into their own imagery and they forget it's the reaction that's the best part of acting. It's in relationship with another person where the best performance happens. Perfect comfort zone for her. Perfect comfort zone for Ding Yuxi. And then it's done by a team who so far has adapted the script from the original novel pretty well. Like, I cannot guarantee everything that happens after episode 13 because I haven't watched it. It may fail, you never know. So far, it's working out well. Now, the only thing I hope for it is no weird things happen to it. No weird fandom war happens to it towards the end. Don't give us a sudden crash, which can always happen, and we've seen that too many times. As long as you can like ride the train safely into the station and park there and everybody get off and be happy, that will be enough for me. That should be the end of this video. Thank you for watching. I'm X. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy drama watching.